What is going on, guys? Faders here, and welcome back to another Fortnite video. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Fortnite creative mode that got leaked by Lachlan himself, guys. So he went ahead and he explained the whole thing, which I'll be showing most of the video. I'm going to cut it into like the main parts. But guys, I think he went ahead and he uploaded the video by accident, and then somebody downloaded it, and then he re-uploaded it again on the Reddit. So yeah, guys, I'm going to be re-uploading it on YouTube. A lot of people have been doing it, so I don't think it's going to be, illegal to upload it again, because it's kind of his fault for doing that. But yeah, guys, enjoy the video. Guys, make sure to use code FadersYT in the Fortnite item shop, because it helps me tremendously, guys. And yeah, guys, here you go, and enjoy the video.
Let's get into it, shall we? So first things first, when you hit up play, it's going to come up with an option to join other friend servers. I'm obviously just going to go ahead and create a new one for you guys to show today. And you can change the settings as well, so friends of friends can also join my own server right now. So welcome to the Fortnite creative lobby. This is where you start off every individual time you load up Fortnite creative. It'll be put here in this lobby. So as you can see from a glance, we've got a bunch of rocks around us with some rifts in them. Of course, the one over there, the gold rift, that's going to be my server. And I believe the plan for these featured ones at the front are for maps that are trendy, have a certain game mode. Just, think Minecraft, but Fortnite. Awesome maps. But currently right now, there is nothing featured in either of those. So we're going to go over to my island. So as you approach your own rift, you're greeted with an interact option. Essentially, you can choose one of 4 islands. They're like 4 different saves, I guess you can kind of say, that you can have tied to your account at any time. Today, we're going to be playing on Island 2. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my Fortnite creative server. That it has a grid option. And if I was to say right click, I could pick up that option and move it around to say over, I don't know, here. Like that. I've just moved a piece of concrete. I can also copy it with a left mouse button so that it doesn't get rid of the original piece. And that's pretty much what the phone will do. You can also press X while holding it out, and you can delete whatever you've put down already. So this thing here is just a couple of little things I've thrown down. So the next thing up that you probably noticed down the bottom is a memory used bar. Essentially, if that gets to the end, you won't be able to place blocks and stuff like that. This is just to make sure your server doesn't crash. However, if you want to see what happens if you max that bar, make sure to check back later today on the channel or tomorrow. I'm not sure when I'm going to upload it, but essentially we tried to break Fortnite creative mode, and it was a lot of fun. And of course, it goes without saying, if you guys go on to enjoy today's video, already enjoyed it, are excited for Fortnite creative, make sure to chuck us a like rating down below. And of course, subscribe to the channel, because we're going to be doing a lot more Fortnite creative content on this channel for sure. And so next up, if we open up our inventory, we're greeted with this creative menu. And we have a lot of things called prefabs, and they're essentially pre-built structures from either the game or from Fortnite creative mode itself that you can use as kind of like a tool to pick from and use for your current build. So for example, we've got a couple of obstacle courses here that you can just use for fun. And then from that, we've got parts of towns that you can use as buildings. So as you can see, we got things from Lucky Landing here, things from Tilted Towers here. Can I get a F in the chat for my factories out there, boys? That's right, there's factories in here. We got the club from Yonder. We got, the modern houses, all the stuff from Pleasant Park, stuff like that, Retail Row, the shops. And as we scroll down the list, we move over to some prop items. So things from the game that, you can destroy for mats and stuff like that. Trees, for example, signs, cars, all that kind of stuff. And then we've got this here, which is actually new to creative. It's a cube gallery, and essentially it's just a bunch of blocks that have different colors, and some have effects. You saw it on my code Locky sign just before. And yeah, just to give you a quick scroll through of every option available, what you can take, and I'm going to show you just exactly how these things work in just a second. All right, so let's say we want to get some of these cubes out, we want to get some of these trees out. We equip both of them, and it adds it to our inventory. Oh, the sun's going down. So after it puts it into your inventory, you can select it with your keybind, and it will pull out a portafort. Oh wow, I wonder where we had that from. Yeah, so think of those mini game portaforts that we had in Playground right now. Essentially, every prefab is represented with a portafort, and you throw it, and it gives you a little preview of what you're going to throw, or at least the dimensions of what it's going to throw. And then that's what we've got, a little cube selecting thing. Some damage traps. These are new kind of traps that whenever you hit them, they'll bounce you back a little bit and take 5 HP away from you. So something to penalize the player for running a certain way, or even trying to run a certain way. Next up, we have these ice block traps, and essentially they're kind of like the ice traps, but you only have it for like a couple seconds. So you'll slide through it, and you'll slide for a couple seconds like that. I don't know if you saw that. It's kind of hard to tell, but yeah, you slide for a little bit, and you can really tell when you use it in combination with these new speed pads. And these are a little speed boost thing Very self-explanatory. You can also customize them for the speed. So you can give it a low, medium, or a high speed. And if I was to do it on this ice, for example, you see how I just slid all the way off there? Kind of, you know, combines that whole thing. But it doesn't give you permanently ice feet for 30 seconds or whatever it gives it for. So it's like a nice little way of using that mechanic without having to have it forever. Next up, we got this little scoreboard thing. Essentially, if you jump on the pad, you can add a point for one thing. I actually really like this for things like dodgeball, you know, trap ball, stuff like that. You can go on and be like, oh, I got my goal. Okay, cool. Chuck it on. And if memory serves me correct, you press the middle one and deletes the score. You probably don't want to get a big score and then accidentally hit the middle one there. Pretty cool indeed. And then next up, we've got this kind of timer. So you can customize it, of course, and it'll pretty much display a timer and play a sound when the timer is complete. And you go all the way from 20 minutes to 1 minute. So if I put it on for a minute, hit that, it's not going to start the timer. And I don't actually know how loud it is, so we'll keep that running in the back while I explain some more features. So moving back into our inventory, we've got the weapons sheet, and it's pretty much every weapon in the game. It doesn't have everything though. Like, it doesn't have C4 and a few vaulted items. It doesn't have revolvers. Not to be mistaken with these revolvers, the ones that are actually half decent at the video game. Also, don't worry, there is no drum gun here either. Oh! And that's the noise it makes. So essentially, you can go ahead and equip it, or you can add to a chest, which I'll show in just a second. It'll add it to your inventory, and yeah, you can spawn ammo as well on the consumable page. All types of ammo, all types of grenades, all that cool stuff you see on screen. Again, no C4. And it's essentially just a rift to get back to the hub. Also importantly, you've got your escape menu, which has your island settings. So these are things that you can set game modes, teams, time limits, spawn locations, all that stuff. So you can have people spawn from the sky, their team pads, their spawn pads, all that stuff. Free-for-all, deathmatch, free play, game mode options for now, teams, and the time limit that it can go for. Up to a 20, a maximum of no time limit, and then 1 minute start. And so I've just hit start the mini game, and it's going to reset everyone and put them somewhere in the map, wherever I selected the sky. Just mainly so I could show off my code one more time. Don't forget that's code Locky in the item stop. Did I say stop? Because I meant shop. And so because the game mode started, it's cleared my access to play creative, I guess you could say. And I have to wait until the 20 seconds is up. This is when you'd like, you know, do your game mode. And then when the time's up, it'll reset it, save your world, reset any damage done to your world. Like, for instance, if I was to go ahead, completely destroy these llamas here, these innocent llamas who definitely didn't deserve that, they'll come back in 4 seconds. There we go, because I think it was a death match. It shows eliminations, deaths, all that kind of stuff. That's my name at the top left. It's like a dev build account. And then it fully resets the island and puts it back to the state before the minigame was started. So for example, a game mode I made the other day was one where we shot the start and we had to try and outrun the platforms that were disappearing. And this allowed us to, you know, reset, make some cool mechanics, and have like a really cool race. And that's just an example of how you can really use creative mode to make some game modes you really couldn't before. I mean, you couldn't Playground, but you'd have to spend so many hours building it because you can only play it once and then you're done. And then also in your island settings, you've got things like health settings, stuff you've seen in Playground mode before, options for the teams and such. So one of the new ones is pickaxe building damage. I can turn it on for instant, and essentially what will happen is anything I touch will disappear if it can be touched. So these llamas, goodbye. Cool. I don't know. Once again, I think that can open up a little bit of opportunities there. And I think that's what the developer's shooting for, is to allow as many possible creations, game modes, whatever, to be made. And I think they've done a pretty good job at it. And so you can even put down but not out options, stuff like that. And then island tools as well. So you can give permissions for players to actually edit. You can say, all right, only I can edit it, or, you know, people that join, they can edit it as well. Be careful with this, because I can already see people doing like griefing Fortnite server videos like they did for Minecraft, and yeah, it's going to be pretty memes. And then also you've got this option here to reset your island completely, and that will just obviously wipe the whole island and leave like the base island there. Which, say goodbye to our code Locky, because he's no longer going to be here anymore. I'm going to show you what that looks like just now. Reset island. Goodbye, code Locky. It's going to just wipe the whole thing. And you can see what it looks like when you first log into a world. And this is it. This is what it looks like. Just a barren island with a few trees and rocks, and for some reason a shack. I don't really know why there's a shack there, but there's a shack there. So last but not least, before we end this off right here, I want to show you one of the obstacle courses they have. You would have seen them if you've played Playground mode, but the resources they've used to make the assets look way better. And a lot of these are really good for making maps as well. A lot of people like to use, I think, this prefab, which has all of the base kind of, you know, construction pieces used. So yeah, a lot of people would take pieces from this and use it in their build. They look nice. And so here's an example of one of the obstacle courses, which I guess you need to jump when you do it. Yeah, you need to jump when you do it, otherwise it doesn't work. Damn. And that's a... Oh. Got it. And done. I'm so good at this game. What can I say? And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's all we've got time for today. I hope you guys went on to enjoy this demonstration of Fortnite creative mode. When it comes out tomorrow, make sure to tweet me. I want to see whatever you guys make. And of course, hopefully we can work together in making some maps. I myself am very interested to see what the community makes. I would love to feature it on my channel if it, you know, is quality content. I think it's going to be something awesome for the Fortnite community. Again, thank you all for watching. If you want to come back later today, we're going to have another Fortnite creative video with some custom game modes that you guys can see. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Hope you have an awesome day. Peace.